In this video, I'm going to discuss what the biggest obstacle or the biggest concern is for people who are looking to get into this industry and want to get into this industry. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serg. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown this channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you have not yet, feel free to check out the God Made podcast on all streaming platforms, and feel free to check out Legion Assisted Living Academy and Legion Assisted Living Advisors in the links down below. My business email is down below as well. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and actually jump into the topic of this video. Some of the obstacles that I have come across myself personally and from talking to other people, well, there are quite a bit. But there are two main ones that I would like to address with each and every single one of you who is watching this video and who has been following this channel for a long time. I think this is a question that a lot of people ask themselves. What are going to be the things that I come across that are going to hinder me or possibly actually prevent me from even succeeding in this business? Now, the very first one that is probably the most common one is the property. Finding the right property for residential assisted living is something that every single person has to do in order to operate their business. They have to find a property. And if you cannot afford a specific property that works, then you have to actually lease a property. And in most cases, when you purchase a property or you already have a property, there comes in renovation costs and having to convert the home to actually meet the criterias and the requirements of zoning and then also licensing. So finding that specific property is the biggest obstacle when you're first starting out, and not knowing what to exactly look for when getting this property or what to do, how to go about it, is what prevents a lot of people from even starting, or they end up losing a lot of time during this process when they're starting. They don't know how to go about it. Now, this can be something that can be prevented by actually knowing people within the industry and actually having those connections and resources. And those are hard to come by, especially if you're new and you have no idea where to go to network or you don't know who to talk to. And then also what you need to do when you're getting the property as far as zoning goes and as far as renovations go. So the best thing to do when it comes to this is either get into some type of network of people within your community who are doing residential assisted living. Maybe go tour some of their homes, maybe get an idea of what they've done and what they would do differently if they would do residential assisted living all over again. And so some of them might say that purchasing is better than leasing. Leasing is better than purchasing because now you don't have the liability. That is all preference. Especially if you're limited with capital, you may not be able to purchase a property and you may not even be able to cover the renovations when it comes to the property. So that's why leasing the property is actually a better option. And so a lot of people have asked that question a lot. Is it better to purchase or lease? And so it all just depends on your situation and scenario. And that's another thing that I've seen within this industry is that people really don't have the capital needed to get started, especially if you're looking to purchase. So it's probably a better option to just lease and then just use the capital that you have available to actually buy into a franchise or start up your business. And so the next thing that the obstacle that I see that a lot of people run into is actually not having not only the right funding and the amount of funding needed to get their business going, but also having those resources available to actually get your home operational and get it up and going and getting your beds filled. Reason being is because you have such a high burn rate when you're first starting out in the beginning if you don't have those proper resources. And by burn rate, what I mean is the amount of capital you're going to be going through before making any sort of profit or revenue during those first couple months of operating your home. And so a lot of people actually go through that a lot quicker than they were anticipating, and now they're in the hole and they still don't have enough revenue to cover their expenses or their overhead. So that is another obstacle and issue that I see a lot of people get into due to the fact that they did not do the proper research on the location that they're in and how to operate their home and the proper networking and marketing with their home. And so they end up in this situation where they're not able to actually come ahead, and so they end up failing, right? A lot of people go under and they really don't bounce back, and now they're stuck in a lease or they're stuck with a mortgage that they can no longer afford. And so that is why it's very crucial to find the right resources and the right people to actually get around and learn from, instead of just trying to jump into it thinking you know everything. And at the end of the day, when you have that mentality of just jumping right in, it can really hurt you financially and mentally and spiritually. So do not do that. And so those are the two main things that I see that a lot of people run into, not being able to find a property or having the right resources to help them find the right property, and renovating and converting those properties. And then the second is not having enough capital available for themselves to run their business on a six, or just overall just not being able to get those startup costs going, right, and not having enough capital to sustain them in case things don't go the way they were planning. So that is why I think it is very crucial that you either go and you learn from people who have done it before, or you choose to go down, like I said, the franchise option, which I think is very, overall, it fixes both of those issues of having to find the property, especially if you can get with the right franchise, which it could be something that you may want to be open to, because it does solve both of those issues, and you may need to just come in with a little bit of capital to have some skin in the game, and it may end up being way more beneficial for yourself if that is something that you want to avoid, from having to find the property by yourself, getting the business up and operating by yourself, and being able to have all that set up for you, and to just come in and get a great return on your investment and also have your own business. And I think when you wrap your mind around that, I think that's the better route to go, especially if you find yourself in either of those situations. So with that being said, though, I do want to say that a lot of you really can do this business, and there is a lot of potential within this business. And I think each and every single one of you has the potential to succeed in this business. So regardless of the obstacles that are out there, you're always going to come across obstacles in any business venture that you do. And it's just a matter of getting around the right people, being in the right mindset, and believing in yourself, and having those people who believe in you as well, and encouraging you to keep moving forward and to keep pushing no matter what comes your way. And with that being said, though, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. Feel free to email me in the email in the link. And with that being said, if you haven't, please hit that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, go watch all these other videos, and I will talk to you all in the next video. God bless.